Shut up.
Absolutely raving reviews like, oh my god, I worked for 10 hours and they didn't leave. I slept through all night. And I thought like, okay, this has got some legs. So it's not just me loving my own idea.
Because we might care about the environment, mightn't we? But period products have got to work, and they've got to work well, haven't they? Are you saying that these pants are better than, these pants that you make, would be better than using disposable pants?
100 times better. Comfort. I think comfort is something we have taken it for so long for granted because there was not a choice. All we had was like, you know, it's been like 6-7 decades, right? Everything's just pads and tampons. There has definitely not been any innovation. I mean, we got wings and strings. That was the innovation that we got over this time. So that is, I think, people started realizing actually, you just want to feel comfortable while the product works, the same as the pad. And I think that was the bonus point.
You have to wash these pants, obviously, and that is an inconvenience, isn't it? You know, if you think about you being handed those torn up bits of sari, you could argue, a lot of women would argue, that disposable sanitary waste freed us from all that stuff, and that it would take us back in time.
It is, but the pants can be actually washed in the washing machine. And I think there were a few brands before us, and you had to hand wash them. So for me, apart from being comfortable and just easy to use, the other thing was like, it should be washable in the washing machine. Otherwise, nobody will switch. Because like you said, we in West, we really live a very convenient life, right? Anything that makes our life easier, that's what we go for. So the pants, you can literally either rinse the blood out or not. Just chuck it in the washing machine, you know, half an hour, 40-minute wash, and it absolutely comes clean.
So how much do the pants cost?
They start from around £10 onwards, all the way to £25. We also do swimwear, for people who basically give up on swimming when they're on the period because they don't like tampons, these are the brilliant alternatives.
Now these are really intriguing, aren't they, the swimsuits? It must be then that the swimsuit is watertight, or the pants are. Is it, so that there can't be any leaks?
It's the physics more than anything else. The buoyancy of the water when you go inside the pool actually holds anything coming out. It's only when you come out of the pool then you feel like, okay, there might be some water that might be in your vagina that might come out. And that's why we have got like special fabric on the swimwear that quickly absorbs it. Now, if you want to go back to the pool, what we normally say is like, go to the changing shower room, just rinse the underwear, put that back on and go out again, and you'll be absolutely fine.
Going back to the cost, how would a lifetime of period pants compare with a lifetime of disposable sanitary products?
So in 2 years, you're looking at nearly 47% savings. So if you spend £4 to £5 every month on your period, for £50 you can get 5 pair of underwear. That should last you for 2 years. So doing the maths, you pretty much get a whole year's worth of free period product with switching to reusable period underwear.
Who's buying them?
Mums and teens. A massive community of mums and teens. And I think this is the generational shift that we are getting. It's like parents, mums, who were often past just pads and tampons when they had their first period, are now looking for alternatives that makes their daughter's first period uneventful, and just like handing them the underwear. It's easy to use. Every girls know how to wear an underwear. The underwear is also very popular for girls who are neurodivergent or who have got sensitive skin. So majority we have got mums and teens as our main customer.
So you said that you did a degree in this country. What was it in? You said it was in
environmental science.
Did you have any background in business? Do you come from a family of entrepreneurs?
I don't. My both parents actually did not go to school. I think they did year 9 and they left the school. Yeah, so totally fell into it, I would say. More of a passion. Started with sustainability as my pure passion. Now, 6 years doing this business, I actually realized that women's health is so much underserved, underfunded, underdiagnosed, like untreated. I genuinely feel like the more I see, I feel like we have been dismissed for all of these years. Our health has been dismissed. People will still take 8-9 years to get diagnosed with endometriosis. For that 8-9 years, they will go through that pain, So I think now, I see more like a women's health advocate rather than sustainability activist. But look, I'm both passionate about both of the subject, and I think they go hand in hand.
So take me back to those early days of setting the company up. You make several pairs of prototype pants and you give them out to people who apply to wear them on Facebook, and they love them.
Yeah.
How much did you need to get these period pants into production then, and where did you get that money from?
So I literally went with the whim. I thought, okay, I might make my first 1,000 pair of underwear. Went to Kickstarter. It's a crowdfunding platform. And I put myself a goal to raise £7,000. Quick Kickstarter, how it works is like, if within the time frame that you have allocated yourself, if you don't raise the whole amount, you actually get nothing. So again, this is the naivety of never doing a business. I thought when I put the idea, people will love it and people will start paying towards it so that they can receive in 3 months' time. 2 weeks in, and I was absolutely in panic, oh my god, I actually know only maybe 10-12 people in my circle. So pretty much that's what I'm relying on them. That's what I'm relying on in terms of like PR marketing kind of way. And I had a couple of friends who randomly heard me on one of the radio program in BBC, and they started coming and saying like, actually, we would love to help you promote and write you a press release and all this kind of thing. So it was only when I launched it I realized that actually you have to do PR and marketing and tell people where they can pre-order it. So that was a learning curve. 3 weeks, we just hit £7,000. I thought, okay. Then I started looking for a factory. At that time, I didn't even have a factory. The one in Pontypridd actually was coming up very expensive, almost like 14, 15 pounds just to make one pair of underwear. And on top of that, I had to do all the fabric sourcing and everything for them. So I sent a couple of prototypes that I made in Pontypridd to China. Found this just on Google. And then they sent me back my sample 100 times better than what I sent them. I was like, oh my god, this is like absolutely great. So basically give them the job, and first 1,000 came around April kind of time.
Of 2018?
Of 2018. And we literally sold out before it even arrived. We came in the newspaper saying like UK's first period underwear is here. Would you pay £13 for period underwear? Those kind of like title. And at that time we were the first one in the UK.
And were they £30 a pair at the time?
They were.
So they've come down as you've got more successful. How many pairs have you sold?
We've sold over, so we've got over 500,000 customers now. We've sold periods. Yeah, so on average I would say they are buying 2, 2.5, 2.5, so over 1 million, I'd say.
Were there big breakthroughs, big turning points, or was it just a gradual thing?
There were some peaks when we got the whole national coverage. I think that was like a really great turning point. The second one was, so I by year 2, year 3, I had just collected money. I did not know what to do, how to do marketing, those kind of things, because all I knew was like a little bit of logistics, a little bit of like going out and talking to journalists. It was when my husband actually left his job, and he was like, okay, you got so much money in your bank account, you need to deploy it so that we can get more customer. And I think this is where he helps me quite a bit, is on the like, how do we make money with more money, less money, that sort of thing. And I think gradually when we started doing like Google ads, Facebook ads, then really picked it up.
Is it a profitable company?
We are. Well, we say we are, but towards the end of every year we go like, okay, let's pay less corporation tax and employ maybe more people, or you know, put it towards like inventory, those kind of things. So we try and like work very closely to cash flow and making sure that, you know, we are not lost. We are definitely not loss operating. We are doing all right.
You're listening to Gap Finders from the BBC team. After this programme, it's Sliced Bread, and Greg Foote will be finding out whether electric currents can really help you feel better. He's investigating TENS machines and circulation boosters. My Gap Finder today is Ruby Rout. She is the founder and chief executive of Ruka. It's a UK company that makes and sells period pants. So Ruby, as you were saying, you grew up in Nepal. What made you want to come to the UK?
Quite a few things, I would say. Opportunity. I also wanted to get rid of the relationship that I was at.
You were running away from a broken heart?
Pretty much. Also, there was a trend happening in my family. Like everybody, whenever they turned 20, they were getting married. So I think I just wanted to avoid that too.
How did you get permission to stay here?
So in the beginning, I came as a student, first year. Then after I finished my course, I ran out of money. So it took me another year just to find my feet. Then I paid for next college, and then the college got bust. But I had 2 years visa on that as well. And then a series of incidents happened throughout that time. Honestly, like, I had one time, border police turned up in the house.
Border police?
Yeah.
Tell you to leave?
Yeah, 60 days. Then my husband goes, at that time my boyfriend, now husband, goes like, okay, we gotta sort something out. So literally 60 days to get married and change the paperwork.
What year was that?
2013.
So So it's lasted, because you're just mentioning him, he's actively involved in the business now.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been together for 10, 11 years now. So.
Can it be an obstacle in business, the fact that you're not British born?
Sometimes. So at the moment I'm looking for investment, and I think up until now, because I was just minding my own business and growing the company at my pace, and we definitely have seen great traction of the brand, and people love it. People come and buy it quite often. And now I'm thinking, okay, if I want to grow the business, definitely I need to look into like investment. And I think this is where I am seeing a little bit more struggle. People, genuinely, when I'm walking into the room, everybody thinks that I need to have some kind of expertise or come from a corporate background. So the first question I get asked is like, so what's your background then? Kind of like, successfully running business, that's what I say normally.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because you say yourself your business is in sustainability and the environment, with parents who said left school, to go on to even further education. And here you are asking people to part with millions of pounds to invest in your company. I can see that's hard.
It is. And I think where it becomes difficult and challenging is like most of the investor wants to invest in consumer product where people come consume, then come buy, come buy and back again, those kind of thing. That repeat purchase is always like very much a hungry kind of thing. But we are creating something sustainable. We are creating for the reason that people don't have to come back, right? To buy again and again, and that's what the sustainability is about. How can we move into like a slow consumer model? And this is another challenge for me. It's like whenever I go out, like I have to convince them that actually, half of the world's population is women, female. They will have period at some times, but also not just for periods. We are very intergenerational brand, from first period to regular period or heavy periods along the journey, postpartum bleeding, incontinence, all those kind of things, right? We have a customer from 9-year-old all the way to 75-year-old in our portfolio.
Reusable period products are still a tiny proportion of the market, aren't they? Certainly less than, is it less than 10%? I think you put it at 7.5%, don't you?
Less than 7, actually.
Okay. Do you ever feel despairing about it? Do you ever think this will never really, really catch on and feel like giving up?
It will, and it definitely has. Like in the market, what we have seen is like there are a few big brands who got investment, who raised and all this kind of thing. They actually went to selling into big companies. So definitely big conglomerate like P&Gs and Unilever obviously see that as like, okay, they need to have that in their portfolio along with the pads and tablets. But what we also have seen is like they take the brand in, but they're not actually exponentially growing it, the category. And mainly it's because they are in consumer market as well. They have been eyeing on big products.
So you don't despair, you're confident?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, there is so much like over the time, the models of the business have changed as well. There are more online business now than offline business, right? So the consumer are most of the time spending the time on their phone and their laptop, this kind of thing. So there is definitely an opportunity.
How do you unwind?
Walking dogs.
How many dogs do you have?
2.
What are they?
A cockapoo and a collie.
Oh, lovely.
Very energetic. I also talk to my family quite a bit whenever I'm on a walk. So I think, though I don't think that they actually really get where I'm coming from, but they're always there to listen.
What's next for WUKA then? I mentioned at the start that you were the first company to sell period pants in a supermarket, and that was in Sainsbury's.
Yes.
How did that happen?
So I did my first ever advertising at that time in 2018. Put 20 grand on doing this underground advertising. And
on the London Underground?
London Underground, with a whim like, oh my god, this is like the most exciting thing ever, to have a period underwear in the underground. just realized that actually it does not do that much.
It didn't sell much.
No, it did not. What we got back of it was one of the buyer from Sainsbury's actually saw the ad and reached out to me.
Oh, so it was worth it then.
That was worth it, definitely.
That was
And-
just fate.
Yes, yeah, exactly. 2018, and then it took us literally 18 months to be in stores. So 2020 we became the first one
In the pandemic.
in the pandemic, very excitingly. But it did really well. I think people had one place to go during the
The
pandemic. That was
supermarket.
supermarket, right? So, and also throughout the pandemic, people were also staying at home, going online, buying things that they could try it at home. So
Yes, a good
it
time
really
to
did.
try it, I guess, if you were
Yes.
interested in trying it.
Yes, sleeping is great on period underwear. Like if I say to anyone try period underwear, it's like just sleep on it, sleep with it. I mean, this is the best liberation that you can get.
So it's in Sainsbury's. Where else? Where's it going?
So we are in Superdrug, Morrisons. We will be launching soon in Boots, which we are absolutely excited about. We did a customer survey and we found out that most of our actually customers shop in Boots and Tesco. So hopefully Tesco next. Anyone who's listening here from Tesco, maybe love a chat.
Okay.
But yeah, we would love to be more on the retail and sit with those consumable product and basically have a choice for women, you know, or people who have periods, just to say that actually, you know what, I can choose this and this now, and be there for as a choice.
As I said, you're the first UK company making and selling period pants, but the same year you launched, an Australian company called Modi Body started selling here. And there are several companies doing it. M&S has its own range now. We've had an email about that from Helen. She says their range of period underwear is cheaper than yours. Why is yours more expensive?
Quality more than we are here for a reason, right? We launched a product for a reason. I think M&S launched a period underwear for other reasons other than, I think their reason was more into sustainability and ticking the boxes, generally speaking. They also have a very poor quality, and I think
Oh, I can't let you say that. Sorry, I have to disassociate myself from that because they're not here to. I'm sure they think they're very high quality. Anyway.